This video is sponsored by Boxu. Head on over to the link in the description and not only get your hands on some traditional Japanese snacks, but also the history and culture behind them. Hey everyone, Gaijin Goombah here, and welcome back to another episode of Witch Ninja, a series that looks at media's most popular Shinobitte scene, which are good, which are bad, and oh Ninjala, do we have a lot to talk about with you. So, March 26th rolled around with a Nintendo Mini Direct showcasing the next big competitive multiplayer game for the Switch, Ninjala. A game that I can only describe as smashing the Battle Royale genre through a Splatoon mesh screen. And by itself, I don't think there's anything too wrong with that. One of the best things about Splatoon was its aesthetic, so I absolutely welcome more of it. But instead of blowing the crap out of each other as hyper-evolved squid kids, now we're beating the crap out of each other as stylized ninja kids.
Yeah, you heard that right. Ninja kids. See all these? According to this game, they be ninjas.
Okay, well, hang on. Yeah, I think it goes without saying that there's a lot, and I mean a lot, that we could tear into when it comes to the aesthetic of this game. Not just the questionable concept of a 14-year-old Wanda in high Shibuya fashion beating the crap out of her friends and calling it ninja, but a lot of minor things caught my eye. The Daruma doll drones, the Suzumi drum bounce pads, even the episode 0 cutscene itself could be its own analysis video, what with its retelling of shinobi history.
Let's not forget the tropiest of tropes when it comes to the ninja, the Bushin no Jutsu.
I am never escaping this technique. We could probably take any random screenshot from Ninjala's direct footage and point out 100 different cultural references and nods, ninja or otherwise, that this game makes. But we're not doing that today. I'm gonna save that critically huge breakdown for when the game gets closer to release and we have a lot more info to work with. No, for this video, there's just one thing on my mind.
You cannot be serious. You want to talk about the gum? The ninja gum that apparently twists your DNA into becoming the next Naruto? The gum that can somehow materialize into toys taken straight from TMNT2? Why the freaking gum?
Why the freaking gum indeed? See, I was like the majority of the other ninja purists upon seeing how this game's story and aesthetics were being put together. I winced at the notion of Billy Blonde every teen over here being some ninja descendant, let alone a part of the Hanzo bloodline.
That's what I expected from Hanzo's descendant.
I facepalmed at the idea of a giant yo-yo or inflatable superbat creating so much constitutional damage it would rocket an 80-pound person into the side of a building. And yes, I threw up a massive eyebrow to the idea that biochemically engineered bubblegum could not only maximize a person's potential like an episode of freaking Dragon Ball Z, but could also make manifest a collection of weapons such as these. But here's the thing. No developer worth their salt designs their game with random reasonings. For as quirky as Nintendo's games have been over the last 4 decades, there's always been an inspiration behind the choices that developers make to their game. And for as stupid as preteen Naruto's breaking the laws of physics, pulling off jutsus, and making weapons out of bubblegum sounds, I think there's something more to it. Because this isn't some random indie game made from a small Western studio. This is Tokyo-based Gung Ho Games, a company with 333 employees and more than a few solid titles behind them.
So wait, are you saying there's some kind of legitimacy between what historical texts have cited ninja to be and a roll of Hubba Bubba?
Oh good heavens no! Traditional chewing gum wasn't even invented until 1869, which was quite some time after shinobi fell into irrelevance. And there isn't exactly a lot of historical evidence of the Portuguese bringing chicle into the country alongside their long list of trade goods either. No, what I want to do with this particular episode of Witch Ninja is something that I usually try to avoid. Speculation. Because despite there being no historical connection between Shinobi and Double Bubble, I'm not so convinced that Gung Ho's decision to center their ninja-based gameplay around gum was on a whim. Especially since gum is not particularly popular in Japan. No joke, every single time that I've gone to work, study, or just visit the country as a tourist, I saw maybe one person chewing in public. And while I thought maybe I was just being really unobservant, according to Statista.com, 47.7% of people polled in Japan in 2017 said they never touch this stuff, with only about 22% of people saying they've had a chew once a week at least. I suppose that's due to the stigma that surrounds gum. Visibly chewing gum, at worst, makes you look rude if you're in any situation outside the equivalence of shooting billiards at a pool hall, and at best makes you look just really nonchalant. So with as big of a faux pas as gum is in Japan, it would be really odd for the developers to center their new fantasy ninja brawler around the gooey stuff. Seems more like an idea that would come from the other side of the Pacific, right? And granted, I can entertain the idea that Ninjala itself is being made for a Western audience, but there's a hanging thread that I can't get out of my mind. An inkling, if you will, as to why I could absolutely see Ninja and Gum having this odd sort of theoretical pairing.
Alright, so how in the world does that work?
Well, there's no better way to start explaining this tangled mess than Japan's own domesticated gum. While Western-produced gum tends to focus on the basics like flavor, elasticity, and sheer disappointment, from what I've seen, Japan's domestic chicle chew leans a bit more on utility. Granted, stateside we have things like Trident to help mask that wretched smell from our breakfast burritos, but Japan's got a freaking Batman utility belt of gums for various uses. For example, one of Japan's most popular gums for guys, Black Black, is known for its dark rich charcoal color, refreshingly minty yet spicy flavor, and its 5mg injection of caffeine. And when it comes to a country that works an average of 60 hours per week, it's pretty easy to see why so many salarymen would be clamoring for the chew. But it's not like utility gum is for men only. There's beauty gum that's available to the ladies, or pretty much anyone who wants to look their best. Brands like Glammatic and Fuarinka brand gums boast properties of health benefits such as vitamin C for general health, collagen to keep your skin looking good, and hyaluronic acid for bone strength and to speed up your body's ability to heal, all within a single stick of gum. I mean, Japan's always been known for having a wide diversity of snacks, from the traditional to the wacky, so I suppose it's no surprise that their gum is so diverse.
But what about those out there that never had the chance to experience that?
Well, that's what Boxu is for. Yes, it's our video sponsor, but hear me out, gang, because what I really love about these guys isn't just the snacks, but the cultural info in their boxes. See, the first box you get is their Seasons of Japan box that can have up to 25 different snacks depending on what size you get. But rather than the selection being slapdash, there's a unique cultural theme. In this case, all of the treats selected are directly in theme with Japan's view of the seasons. Plum potato chips for ume blossoms, dango for hanami, dondon yaki representing the summer festivals and taiko, yuzu candy similar to the summertime yuzu sake, matcha chocolate for fall tea ceremonies, and genmaicha tea for the cold winters. Yeah, this box not only has snacks, but a few really unique traditional teas. But that's not the end. In the cultural booklet you get with each box, not only do you get detailed info for each snack, such as how it's made and what region of Japan specializes in it, but also really great cultural tidbits. A vocabulary section with romanji, kanji, and kana, a full map of Japan showcasing unique aspects of prefectures through their specialized snacks, even highlighting a few hidden gems across the country that you might otherwise overlook in a trip. There's even a segment that breaks down traditional tea ceremony, including its history, tools, and practices. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore the selection in this box. Personally, my favorites were the soft white strawberries from Nagano, the tender apple caramel cookie from Aomori, and my number one favorite, the dondon yaki from Ibaraki. Not just because taiko drum, but also because of its great spicy flavor. However, what really caught my eye in this box was just how much care went into showcasing the history and culture behind each treat. And you guys know me, I go gaga for that stuff. So if you want to try Boxu for yourself at a discount, head on over to the link in the description and use my code GAIJIN10 to get up to $44 off your purchase. Boxu ships for free all over the globe and you can cancel anytime. So come see the culture behind Japan and its snacks straight from the people whose families have been doing it for over 100 years. Now then, I want to ask you to wrap your brains around something that might seem really, really stupid. What we have here are products of Japan that have the capacity to keep your energy up, your skin and bone health up, help your body heal, or do something as simple as keeping your breath fresh. Everything on that list is something that, based on my multiple years of research now, is absolutely something that a ninja would be all about. Again, that sounds dumb, right? Well, consider this. The world over associates ninja with some pretty baseline things. Sneaking, assassination, espionage, etc. But what they don't attribute to ninja is the one thing they did better than anyone else in Japan's early days: chemistry. While a lot of their chemistry prowess was in perfecting things such as black powder tools and poisons, they spent an equal if not greater amount of time creating various highly transportable medications. During a visit to a ninja display and symposium called Ninja Nanja back in 2016, I came to find out just how extensively ninja processed and made cartable pills and medications that were believed by them to greatly manipulate the body. Said medications were used to control thirst, hunger, pain, diuresis, edema, arteriosclerosis, general wellness, and, oh, did you look at that, alertness. Not so unlike the benefits listed in the above-mentioned brand of gum, which boasted benefits like caffeine alertness, skin health, and body healing.
Alright, that would make sense here. Historical ninja texts like the Bansenshukai and Shoninki definitely have examples of alchemical know-how alongside what you just mentioned, but I do wonder how efficiently ninja from the 1500s could inject these health-beneficial chemical compounds into South American chicle if given the chance.
Well, ninja were able to create long-lasting processed pills like Hirogan, Kikatsugan, and Suikatsugan, which had the ability to keep the body energized and healthy, but ninja infusing body-positive chemicals into gum is only one side of the coin in this point that I'm trying to prove. because not only would gum be helpful alchemically, it could be even more beneficial practically.
You really think Ninja would find practicality in a stick of spearmint?
I told you this idea was super dumb, but again, roll with me on this for a second. By far, the greatest strength of the shinobi was their ability to use everyday resources that they had in the most practical of ways. These guys were basically the ultra MacGyvers of Japan. They could use the inherent magnetism of an iron sewing needle to create a makeshift compass. They could utilize citric juices as invisible ink made visible when heated. They dried out water chestnuts and turned them into caltrops. I cannot stress this enough. What made Ninja was their ability to squeeze every last ounce of utility out of whatever they could get their hands on. And if you want to talk utility, look no further than gum.
Wait, really?
Dude, for real. Let me drop a few real-world examples of how run-of-the-mill chewing gum, or heck, even ancient Mesoamerican chicle, would have assisted a ninja in very specific historical examples.
Alright, I'm game.
So let's get the most obvious one out of the way here. Adhesive. Tools break, clothing rips, and sometimes being able to quickly seal or stick something to a wall in a pinch would have been really handy. You've got all kinds of ninja tools and weapons like Bo Shuriken or Gosunkui that could have been used as anchors or pins. Again, multi-use utility tools. And while gum wasn't going to be sticky enough to help you climb a wall, it would be more than capable of repairing, sealing, and pinning. I know this because we've actually used gum like this before. It's been documented that in World War II, soldiers would use everyday chewing gum to patch everything from Jeep tires to airplane components when resources were scarce. So considering how portable gum is and how important portable and inconspicuous tools were to the shinobi, there's no doubt in my mind that a ninja wouldn't use gum for adhesive purposes. But I kid you not, simply chewing gum would have alleviated one of the ninja's most pressing issues: mental control. I've mentioned it before, but ninja had a wide variety of exercises that helped them not just stay calm, but regulate things like heart rate, breathing, and so on. Being ninja was equal parts psychological as it was physical. Now, one of the best examples of ninja utilizing tools and exercises for keeping their bodies and minds under control was the Kuji-in, the stereotypical 9 hand gestures and sutra words that went along with them: Rin, Pyo, To, Sha, Kai, Jin, Ritz, Zai, and Zen. This is a fast exercise that shinobi use to help them control their mental state under stressful situations, and as far as I can tell, it works, because based on a study done by one Dr. Teruhisa Komori at the University of Mie, it was scientifically proven that practitioners of the Kuji-in had greater focus and mental ease when utilizing the technique before entering a stressful situation versus having not done it at all. And on the flip side, it's also been scientifically proven that chewing gum actually regulates and steadies your mind. Enter Dr. Beeman and the University of Reading. In an experiment with 98 individuals, Dr. Beeman and his team would play extremely catchy tunes for the individuals in an attempt to turn these songs into annoying earworms. One group had chewing gum, the other did not. When the songs were complete, the team asked the individuals to push a button every time they thought of the song, and strangely enough, the group that had gum to chew on pushed the button far less than the control group. Other research has shown that simply moving your jaw around disrupts short-term memory and imagining sounds, allowing the individual to focus and keep pesky earworms out of their mind. Exercises in calmness and clarity. Isn't that exactly what things like the Kuji-in were for? Self-psychological manipulation? As dumb as it may sound, Ninjala's concept of ninja kids chewing gum to heighten their senses, DNA manipulation aside, actually sounds like a not-so-terrible fantasy take on the psychology of mental focus and chewing. Then there's the ninja's worry of odor. Body odor was such a deterrent to the ninja that they forced themselves into a very specific vegetarian diet spliced with insects and fish on occasion. It was a simple concept, really. If you smell, you get noticed. But despite how many times a ninja may bathe, there was always the worry of breath. People back in the 1500s didn't exactly have access to Colgate, but you know what could have worked? Yeah, gum. Even South American chicle could do. Because long before ninjas were even around, ancient Aztecs and Mayans would use chicle to stave off hunger, keep their teeth clean, and keep their breath fresh. Not only could a ninja keep their mind clear as we discussed before, but they could also keep their breath clear as well. Now, another thing to consider is the ninja's nearly consistent life on the road and in the wilds. There are a slew of tricks and know-how that ninja would use in order to sustain themselves to find food and water, but think about this. Not only could something like chicle hold off a ninja's hunger, but it could also be used as fishing bait. I kid you not, some anglers swear by bubblegum as a prime way to catch catfish, trout, and even crab. So yet again, the gum's list of usefulness grows, not only as a hunger deterrent by itself, but also as a method of catching a meal. Lastly, you know how we always bang on about
Real ninja wear blue. Sorry.
Yeah, that. Aside from the whole dark blue bleeds into a starry night sky idea, ninja, at least Iga Ninja according to their own museum information, believed that the dark blue hue, whether because of its design or the residue from the process of making the cloth navy, drove away insects. Plus, it wasn't too uncommon that Ninja would just carry their own self-made bug spray to keep away pests. It was an obvious problem either way. Well, guess what else gum can do?
Are you serious?
Oh, do I sound like I'm joking? Apparently, just how old ninjas swore the color blue drove away insects, people these days actually swear that a single stick of spearmint will keep away annoying pests from ants to flies. So that makes, 7 or 8 unique uses for gum that Ninja could utilize? Look guys, I'm not saying that Ninja ever did use gum at any point between 200 and 1600 AD, nor am I saying that Gung Ho had all of these theoretical situations in mind when it came to designing their ninja brawler, though it certainly would blow my mind if they did. All I'm saying is that, maybe given the circumstance, maybe if Portugal did end up importing old-school Mesoamerican chicle to Japan, maybe Ninja would have used gum. There is, after all, a heck of a lot of things that they could use it for. From a historical purist perspective, Ninjala's concept of ninja gum seems pretty goofy, I won't lie. But when it comes to its multiple uses, practical or otherwise, it does not strike me as so far-fetched that Shinobi wouldn't be interested in creating utility gum. We've already seen its possible applications, so yeah, maybe it's just a little bit more to chew on while we wait for this game to come out.
Really with these puns? Well, we gotta give a great big thanks to Boxu for sponsoring today's video. And again, if you want to not only get your hands on some traditional Japanese snacks and tea, but also the culture behind them, click on that link in the description with the code Gaijin10 and get up to $44 off your own snacky Boxu box, starting as much as 24 buckaroos.
And as always, thanks for watching everyone. We've got even more Witch Ninja analysis coming down the pipeline, as well as a look into the incredibly dense folklore behind one of the most requested topics in this channel, Digimon. Sound interesting? Well, be sure to subscribe, and don't forget, we're also over on twitch.tv/Gaijin Goombah bringing you culture shocks live. But until next time everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.